I just saw something on the cameras and I'm excited. Do you see what I see? What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode, I want to say we're on 21 now of the wrecked Civic Type R. Today, our ACT clutch showed up for the car. This is hopefully the very, very last thing we need to get this whole big project back on the road. Hopefully we can start driving this car in today's video. We have a lot of things to do, starting with getting this clutch unboxed. I think it's a clutch and a flywheel. So we got to get this guy unboxed and bolted onto our engine. I hit up ACT and I said, yo, I just want something stock-ish. This is the HC12-HDSS. This guy is rated at 412 foot-pounds of torque, 33% over OEM. It's an organic disc, streetlight flywheel type, heavy duty pressure plate. This should drive nicely and I'm excited. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what she looks like. So we have the disc here. Here is the pressure plate, and here is the flywheel with new hardware, new throwout bearing, the alignment tool, more hardware, the grease, installation instructions. When you get a clutch from ACT, they send you every little thing you'll need that's clutch related. Every single thing. I know other companies don't. Don't ask me how I know. ACT, you guys are the best. Appreciate you getting this out to me on a very, very, very tight timeline. And they even go as far as to include the torque specs for all the hardware, which is super nice. Flywheel is installed and torqued to a final torque spec of 91 foot-pounds. I did utilize a little bit of red Loctite on the flywheel bolts. I do not want those things backing out. Now I kind of spaced it. Before I forget, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the engine on the engine stand, flip it over, and we gotta reseal this pan. It did start leaking on us, and if we put the clutch on now, it will not fit on the stand. So I started digging into this motor and realized it's not the pan leaking, most likely. Well, obviously, because the leak is higher up. This whole edge right here is wet. It's either the head gasket, which is highly unlikely, or the timing cover, which also seems very unlikely. This car's brand new, 10,000 miles. I don't know how this is leaking already, but it is. That is no better than just an oil pan leak, because now we have to pull the pan and the timing cover. I am very, very convinced it is the cover. If it's the head gasket, yeah, I don't know. That's just unlikely to me. It does seem wet right up in here where the head meets the block, but that's also where the timing cover meets the head and meets the block. So let's go ahead, tear this thing down a little bit more, pull the timing cover, pull the pan, reseal both, and hopefully it was just the timing cover leaking. Kind of sucks. This is setting us way back, but such is life. I am to the point now where I'm getting very, very frustrated with this car. This whole motor is now going to be torn down. Let me show you and explain why. So as you guys saw, I pulled off everything on the front of the motor, because that's where the oil leak was coming from, down the front. I mentioned earlier it could possibly, but very unlikely, be a head gasket. So I then pulled off the timing cover, and I found two things. Number one, I found a cracked timing cover. It was not leaking at all, thankfully, but you guys see that right there? Right on that little threaded flange. We got a little crack there. That's on the back of the motor. That was not leaking at all. Now here is the shittiest part of this whole entire rebuild so far. It got hit so hard on the front of the motor, specifically the turbo. If you guys can remember, the turbo was split in half. Turbo bolts right to the head. It was hit so hard, it completely shifted the head on the block. And let me show you how I know that. Right here is where the head meets the block. This should be a perfectly flat surface. This is where the timing cover seals. So on the back of the engine, we have this pretty nice lip right here. So the head is sticking over the block. The head is closer to us right now than the block is. And then on the front, it is inset on the block. This is exactly where it was leaking pretty bad. I'm not so sure if it's leaking on the backside or not yet. Of course it would have eventually. So if we look at it like this, the head is shifted like this. It's not a lot, but it's enough to where we have to pull this whole thing apart and fix it. I swear every single day now, I come in the shop, eager to work on this thing, eager to go on the first drive, and then we start working on it and we run into more and more problems. Now, I don't know how many Type R motors have been gone through before, but this is definitely a first for me. It's honestly not all that much different than any other 4-cylinder I've ever worked on, of course, besides a boxer engine. So it's nothing new, but yeah, we got to pull the head, which is very frustrating. I'm trying to get parts in ASAP, overnight preferably. We can get this thing on the road ASAP. But of course, this is something that we should probably not rush. We got to do it right, got to get the head resurfaced. Hopefully the head is actually usable. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And hopefully the block is usable. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Timing cover I'll replace, head gasket I'll replace. I'm sure the alignment dowels are twisted. And I am betting the head studs or head bolts, whatever this has, those are probably bent or twisted a little bit as well. I guess we'll see when we pull it apart. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the shop, get everything organized, because I had no idea we're gonna dive this far in tonight. So every little thing is gonna be bagged and labeled, being that this is gonna be torn down for at least a few days minimum. So all the timing cover hardware is gonna go in a bag, all the oil pan hardware, turbo hardware, all that stuff, and then we can move on to tearing this piece of shit down. So frustrating, guys, so frustrating. This is the price you pay though when doing rector rebuilds, I guess, right? Great fun. Well, just as I expected, head gasket is toast. One dowel is fine. It's a little messed up, but check out this dowel. This is the alignment dowel. This aligns the head to the block, and that thing is destroyed. I'm sure the head bolts are fine. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna replace them either way, just because I feel like they're probably not that expensive, but they all seem fine. Maybe a little bit of bend on this one. Absolutely crazy how deep we are getting into this car. I know you guys want to see this thing run and drive down the street. So do I. But of course, now we have much, much bigger issues to resolve with the car before we can put the motor back in. It's kind of funny. I came to the shop today expecting to drive the car home, or not home, but like drive it today. And now we are further into the car than we've ever been. Look at my shop right now. Subframe's on the ground with the oil mess under it. We have an intake manifold chilling here, a transmission, all the other parts, all front clip, and now we have a torn apart engine as well. Oh man, great fun. I'd recommend not buying a wrecked car if you are not in for some shenanigans like we are getting into right now. At least not one that's hit this bad. This thing was hit so hard that it literally separated the engine in half. It's insane. Gonna wrap up the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know when the next video is gonna be out with this car. As soon as I get parts in, we should be good to go. Goodbye, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow or in the next video.